is random and unfair. Life is pandemonium. That's the reason we despair. Life is pandemonium. Life is pandemonium.
Pandemonium. Dinosaur.
I knew that word.
On Wednesday.
Show me.
Well, it's Monday, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, it's Tuesday.
Is it?
No,
it's Monday.
Oh, well, okay. I don't think we get a lunch today, but we're gonna do a run through and then go home. We've got volunteers today, but I don't know how many. Who's got a volunteer coming in today?
You two shit-faces.
Shame on you two.
I had one on Friday.
True.
Wenda's not that popular.
You don't have that many friends.
Yeah, run through and then plain sailing, go home.
Yep.
Yes.
How could I have been eliminated? You want to know how? You want to know how? You want to know why? My unfortunate erection. Who needs to do it? I was really nice.
It's Tech Day, and I don't know whether you can hear me, but we're going up to Whitley Bay now. Yay!
On the bus.
We're all super tired, but it's worth it. We made it to Whitley Bay, and look at the dressing room.
Woo! And we're here.
It's beautiful.
Making up room.
And this is for 4 people. Look at the costumes. We've got a lovely Marcy Parks costume. Mine hanging up here. Jungry's just probably didn't want to hang it.
Yeah.
We've got Rona's costume, Sam's costume. Everything. Logan's. Oh, look at this.
No one else.
Oh, I've got a big mirror. I'm literally in Rachel's clothes today. And
So
So is
am I
Anna.
wearing my clothes?
and then obviously Rachel's
Because
wearing
I'm
Rachel's
such a
clothes.
fashionista.
But look! I've got a big suitcase because I stayed overnight. I've got some flowers, which is lovely.
And we're going to go and harass the people of Whitley Bay after
Yeah.
rehearsals.
Look at this.
I've nicked half of the Whitley Bay Playhouse's leaflets.
Oops.
But to be fair, they should have put them in the window.
We're going to
because
harass the people of Whitley Bay to come.
we've literally had such a problem trying to get our posters into the Whitley Bay Playhouse's window because we're only in for one night, and that's 2 shows still, but we just haven't got
They
any
put the
advertising.
Pied Piper up with plastic rats.
And
But not Spelling
yeah,
Bee. Look at the art.
look at that! Look how brilliant this is. And
Why would you want that in your window?
I know you'd want the best posters to be in your window, and I feel like they've been bribed.
They have been bribed.
They've been bribed, and we just didn't bribe them because we're better than that. Well, the first one's in though. Everyone, like all the adults are in, and then we're in, and then Simon and Michael are yet to come, and Glenn. So we'll wait them. it's the week after Spelling Bee, it's the day after Spelling Bee, and I think that itself shows how tired I am. It was fab. It was absolutely fab. I really don't know how to start talking about it and analysing everything. Oh gosh, sorry. That's happened. The Tuesday show, it got cancelled. So we just had 2 shows yesterday on the Wednesday, and oh my goodness. From someone who hasn't really done anything like that before, I've never done a production with that such a key role, because obviously in Spelling Bee everyone basically has a big role because it's such a small cast, and I've always really either been a big part in a school play or like a tiny part in a big show. Like I did the summer shows and the part-time classes, and I've had some moments on stage, but I've never had that kind of thrill and that kind of experience, even backstage and doing the tech run. And I just feel like I need to give the lowdown of what happened and just reflect, really. I'm so tired, but that's okay. So looking back on everything that we did, like from the start of the rehearsal, I remember when Ian first came in and we sat down and we basically discussed everything we knew about Spelling Bees. And actually I remember something he'd said. I feel like I've got a sheet that he'd printed out somewhere in my room because he wanted to bin it, but I kept it, but I don't know where it is. But it said that the research he had looked into was the background of Spelling Bee. Yeah, was background of regular Spelling Bees, not the musical. And one of the ideas he liked is the fact that it's called a spelling bee because bees collected together in a colony and worked hard, I think it was. So that was kind of a reference point to, you know, all our characters were coming together, accumulating in Putnam to do a spelling bee. So I guess it kind of links. It's a bit of a strange thing to think about when you're thinking about a little spelling competition, but I guess it's quite interesting. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is how I feel like I've developed as a performer, I guess, from the whole experience. So overall, Spelling Bee the musical itself has actually, it's such a big sing, and Oliver Ostrovsky sings a lot in Spelling Bee, and she's very much a soprano. I think I've said that before. She's very much a soprano in this musical, and I feel like even though it was tough, even though I am a soprano myself, it was tough to reach all those notes and sustain that kind of vocal stability for such a long time. It's taught me a lot because obviously I'm going to be trying to get roles on stage, and if that's how much work it takes to be a soprano in a musical, then obviously I need to know and I need to learn and develop my skill in that and be able to sustain that kind of power and not complain about it and just enjoy it, because I feel like the stronger my voice gets in that kind of range, the better. And I do feel like that kind of the process we've been through, it's taught me how to keep my voice safe and keep it safe and keep it strong. I think I can definitely say that I've become a stronger singer from this process, and I've learned a lot about my voice and even my improv skills in acting, because well, we've had audience members on stage and we've had moments where I've needed to discuss things with them on stage, and I was not Rebecca at that point, I was definitely Olive, otherwise it would have ruined the whole experience for them. So it was so surreal pretending to be Olive to someone who was not another actor, and I really enjoyed that. Oh, something else that was quite tricky, the fact that we didn't really have a singing teacher through the process, we had MDs, so obviously if I was learning a song with Michelle, she would focus more on the way that I was singing it, but I've learned that MDs don't tend to do that. MDs tend to stick to teaching you the tune and teaching you just to hit the right notes and timing, but I was expecting them to help me to like discuss, oh, this should be belted. If it's not safe to belt it here, then maybe try and bring it back to mix, or you're mixing this. And I didn't know that we wouldn't get that, and I'm so glad that I've learned that now, so that I don't have to go into the industry expecting help. I know that now I can do it on my own, and I've got to have confidence in what I can do. We did rehearsal for a week without Ian, and we were really super hyped about showing him what we got, and honestly I was really excited about it. But when he came in, the first note that I can say that me, Anna and Rachel got was that we were being a bit too like sugar-coated musical theatre, I think his words were, which has taught me that, you know, not everything needs that, and that sometimes focusing on character, even if it is in a quite a Brechtian style, quite naturalistic. Brechtian style is not naturalistic. If it was quite Stanislavski naturalistic, then I would definitely need to focus more on my characters' characteristics rather than speaking to the audience through my facial expressions, try to be me but a different character. That might just make sense to me, but that's how I see it. So not everything needs sugar-coated musical theatre. Everything's different, acting wise. So the shows themselves, I just shouted that. So the show itself, the first show, it was a school show. We had some guests come in that weren't from schools, but overall it was free admission, I think, to most people who entered, because it was schools, and they could write about it for their GCSEs, so the ages of those students was I want to say year 10, because that's when I went to see Warhorse for my GCSEs. Yeah, year 10. And we got 2 teachers on stage and 2 school kids, and the audience, I was actually taken aback. I was expecting them to be quite reluctant, but they absolutely loved it. They were finding everything hilarious. I even got a few laughs from Olive, and definitely wasn't expecting, because I didn't think that Olive could be quite a funny character, but you know, it's funny because some people must have just found it that way. I don't know. She has some funny lines. Coming through the audience, I learned that I definitely need to rehearse timing wise, just in case I don't make it onto the stage in time for my opening entrance, because if I missed that, that would have been a bit awkward, but I managed it. Looking back, I think my first song, My Friend the Dictionary, after the show, Ian came backstage and gave us a few notes, and one of mine was just try not to be so aggressive with an audience member. When I said, oh, excuse me ma'am, could you not sit in that seat? Apparently I came across quite aggressive. I don't know, I hope that it wasn't too much, but I looked back on the tape and it didn't seem overly aggressive, but I just definitely saw where he was coming from. So in the evening show I definitely changed that. But I felt like my acting, I brought out all the stops for my acting and did my best there. What's more? What else? I want to talk about the I Love You song. Loved it. I spoke to some people who'd seen both shows, or a video of the first one and watched the second one, and apparently the second I Love You song, the evening show, went a lot better, and I think that's because while I was singing it, or just before I started to sing it, I realised it would be the last time that I'd ever get to sing that song, and what could have been, and I just thought, okay, this needs to count, this needs to be important, this needs to be the best I've ever done it. and I'm glad that the pressure didn't didn't get to me in a negative way. Apparently it sounded good. So I'm quite proud of that. 6 languages. I think, I'm pretty certain that I got the cue for the flag. Finally, after some alterations with routes and just journeys and things, I think I finally got it. I think the only thing I want to talk about right now is the ballet in both of the, well, the pas de deux in both shows. So the first show, I had my number on, and one of the cues was to stand up and take off the number while Michael was coming over to me, and honestly, the fear I had, I took the number over my head, and I suddenly felt, oh my goodness, it's pulling my mic off, and I just instinctively put it back on, and the mic was hanging down the back of my neck. I don't know whether anyone noticed but me, but I have spoken to people afterwards, and the people on stage did notice, but I'm not sure about the audience. My mic was hanging off the back of my neck, and my number was over my back because of moving around so much. It had flung backwards. So, costume-wise, didn't do so great. So, the first few counts of the pas de deux was just shocking, and I was shaken up after that. I just thought, oh my goodness, what have I done? I've messed up the whole thing. But speaking to a few people afterwards, obviously they said that it wasn't my fault, and I guess that kind of makes me feel better because I couldn't have done anything about it. I don't know whether, while I was moving around in 6 languages, my hair might have got caught in between the microphone and the number and tangled them both together. I'm not sure, but something happened costume-wise to stop me from being able to pull off my number. And backstage afterwards, I had to get some help to take it off with my mic. So that was quite embarrassing, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I ran around Michael, did the twirls. We did some more steps, ran over to the corner, ping, ping, ran back around. I think that this is because of the shock of the fact that my mic was hanging off. I forgot to stop in the middle of the stage. I just kept moving and turned around and ran to him for the lift. And we got the lift, which I'm over the moon about because that was the showing that was being taped. And I think I watched the tape back actually, and I'm really impressed with how it looked. I felt like very proud and like I'd achieved something, so that was quite nice. Evening show, made sure in the intermission that my number could come back off and on again, and I was confident that I would be able to get that bit, and I did in the second show. But also we didn't get the lift. I don't know whether it's because Michael wasn't low enough, or whether I don't feel like I jumped high enough, or something happened, and I don't have any footage to watch back, so I'll never know unless someone else knows who can tell me. But whatever happened, and then we just kind of played it off as if it was meant to be awkward, and then we got back down, and I was so dizzy from being spun around that I couldn't balance, so I just kind of pretended I couldn't reach to kiss him, like So, and I got a laugh, so that must have looked believable, or it was Michael's face going like this, not too sure. And then everything went plain sailing from there. So yeah, overall everything went well. Everyone that I've spoken to said that it seemed so professional, and obviously not a lot of people have heard of the musical before, so it was nice that we could have surprised them with it and shown them, you know, something new. And everyone loved the words and the definitions, and seeing people that they knew up on stage involved, I think really helped the warming up to Spelling Bee itself, like the story and everything and the characters. And yeah, just I haven't heard a single negative comment about it from audience members, so I'm over the moon, absolutely over the moon with the whole experience. And I don't think we could have had a better creative team or cast. I think that everyone worked their absolute butts off, and I wouldn't change anything about it, to be fair, because of anything bad that happened, I've learned from it, and everything good that happened, I can feel like I've achieved something and I've got something positive from everything. So I don't have a negative word to say about the whole experience, and the only thing I'm sad about at the moment is the fact that it's over. I'm quite post-show depression, let's call it, because I really miss having something to look forward to now. I don't know what I'm going to do. I guess roll on the summer show, and I've really enjoyed videoing and getting footage of it all. It's a shame that I couldn't get a lot more footage of actual Spelling Bee show itself to put in the vlog, because I feel like that would have been amazing, but you know, it's just the way it is. Didn't really have time, was rushed off my feet. It's not like I could have written about it later on. I needed to capture the footage or not get it at all. I've got some footage like me doing my hair for Oliver Stravsky that I've probably put in earlier, and just bits and bobs, and to be honest, I'm just really happy. I couldn't ask for anything better. I think a big thanks go out to Gina, to Ian, to Lucy's parents, Gay and Les, all the professionals that came in, Jenny and Richie, who came in both as MDs, and they worked so hard. Everyone did, and everyone just tried to make it the best that it could have been. So yeah, I'm quite overwhelmed by the whole experience, and we got bouquets of flowers, and it was absolutely lovely, and just, I want to do it all over again. Oh. Okay, well, thank you for watching anyway. I hope that you've been able to make it through the whole, however long this footage has ended up lasting. I hope that you haven't been too bored and have been able to reminisce like I have. So yeah, thanks for watching. This is the last Spelling Bee vlog. Goodbye. Goodbye! No. Bye.